I'm not okay with that. I want you to be able to talk whatever you guys say on the circus. I want to be able to have conservative students not being shamed on our universities.
This is like a golden age for conservative student speech. Here's the thing. You say you care about the fentanyl crisis and our kids.
I care deeply.
Okay, right. So if you care so deeply about this, couldn't you actually do something about it if you stopped the bullshit about the last election?
I do believe that we can agree that we both love America.
We do. Well, I know that I love America. I do think that you were okay with Donald Trump trying to end the American experiment last time, so that makes me wonder how sincere your love is.
Kari. Wait, I shouldn't say her name 3 times. She might appear in front of me with this filter on. Over the weekend, the person who admires Trump so much that she sought to emulate his losing strategy of denying said loss and taking it to court only to lose some more.
Despite losing several lawsuits for her false election claims, Lake has publicly insisted that Riker and other Maricopa County state officials stole the election from her by counting hundreds of thousands of phony ballots. This is a candidate who really kind of modeled herself after the Trump blueprint. Yeah. Just lies, just ram through it all with lies and get people to believe you with your charisma.
Former Arizona governor candidate Kari Lake, well, she's gone viral again for all the wrong reasons. After a behind-the-scenes video was released showing her sparring with Republican political consultant and former Jeb Bush communications director Tim Miller. When I say sparring, I mean how sparring would turn out if I was to spar with Floyd Mayweather. She got bodied.
I'm not okay with that. I want you to be able to talk whatever you guys say on the circus. I want to be able to have conservative students not being shamed on our universities.
This is like a golden age for conservative student speech. It's like, it's the best time ever. If you're a conservative student, you want to talk, you have huge platforms. I went to watch you speak at Turning Point USA. All these kids have huge audiences that come to see them, and that's great, that's fine. They're all speaking. Their speech isn't as their threat. There weren't any cops coming to shut down the Turning Point USA thing. But here's the thing. You say you care about the fentanyl crisis and our kids.
I care deeply.
Okay, right. So if you care so deeply about this, couldn't you actually do something about it if you stopped the bullshit about the last election? If you had just acknowledged that Trump had lost and acknowledged that you had lost, you'd probably be in good shape to do something. You probably would have won your governor's race had you just talked about things people cared about instead of the election fraud. So sometimes don't you ever think to yourself, I wish I could just stop talking about this fake thing that Donald Trump made me make up so that I could actually talk about the stuff that's important? Because we agree about fentanyl. I agree. I wish we could deal with that.
I talked about that all the time at the campaign trail. I'm sorry you weren't with me.
You.
I'm sorry you weren't with me every step of the way. The people of Arizona understand me, and they know me, and they care about me, and I care about them. And I care about them. Getting them better, freeing the people who are held political prisoners. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I think you're still a little extreme. That's okay though. It's good to see you again.
It's wonderful
we can keep doing this.
That's right. I'd love to.
This. We have some areas of agreement.
Love to.
We agree on the fentanyl thing, and then you get into the other stuff.
Oh,
but the other stuff is what you have to do.
I'm sorry I'm not making you happy.
The other stuff is what I don't know why you're touching me. The other stuff is what you have to do to win, is the thing.
Sorry, I'm a mom. I'm sorry, I'm a mom.
That's okay. I like to touch too, but in an interview setting, it's a little uncomfortable.
I'm sorry that we don't agree on everything, but what I am not sorry about is that I think that I do believe that we can agree that we both love America.
We do. Well, I know that I love America. I do think that you were okay with Donald Trump trying to end the American experiment last time, so that makes me wonder how sincere your love is. But I do appreciate that.
Thank you for your time.
Good. Thank you for your time.
This comes in the wake of her relentless election denialism and her support for debunked claims that the 2020 presidential election was rigged.
No candidate has been more forceful in spreading Donald Trump's lies about the election than the Arizona Republican candidate for governor, Kari Lake.
I don't know about you, but who else misses President Trump?
Here's who doesn't miss President Trump: Arizona Republicans who want to win elections. The Trump era has been a disaster for them at the ballot box.
We all remember Lake's 2022 governor's race with Trump's backing, in which she lost by about 17,000 votes to Democratic rival Katie Hobbs. But of course, seeking more gold stars from her cult hero, she refused to concede, asking a court to throw out certified election results in Maricopa County and either declare her the winner or rerun the race.
You said that there were 740,000 ballots with no chain of custody. Those ballots shouldn't have been counted. Are you really saying that you would throw out the ballots of 740,000 thousand,
No,
nearly three-quarters of a million Arizonans. I mean, those were
740,000 ballots violated chain of custody requirements in Maricopa County.
I mean, first of all, it's not true. I mean, the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors put out a 98-page report that went through these allegations.
That is a fact.
And we know her legal challenges were thrown out as a court found there was no evidence of misconduct.
Even the best snake oil salesmen or women out there can be held accountable by voters, by the law, by the basic values of the country. And I feel like there was a little bit of uncertainty about where the public was going to be on that before the midterm elections. And the midterm elections were, in my view, a kind of a turning point where we saw people stand up for democracy and stand up for the values of the country. But Kari Lake is in such a different place, June of 2023, than I think many people anticipated she would be in June of 2022, and that is a good thing.
But here she is, back again running for an Arizona Senate seat and is expected to face Democrat Ruben Gallego and incumbent Kirsten Sinema in 2024, who hasn't yet confirmed she'll run for re-election, and I imagine it's because she's not sure what party she'll be running for.
What did we hear from Kari Lake at her rally or since that tells you she learned something from losing in 2022?
Look,
I should add, she still has not conceded.
I think her biggest problem is the sequel's never quite as good. It's impossible to replicate that magic, that excitement, and how does she garner all that again for another statewide race? I think the hill is very steep.
And the thing is, while I'm far removed from the type to help Jeb Bush get elected, that's Jeb Bush, Donald, not the one who led the US into Iraq. Tim Miller's points here are spot on and echo points made by none other than Pete Buttigieg regarding Republican public outrage strategy, which is basically all outrage, no solution.
Obviously, there are issues with the border and with migration. But these are the kinds of stunts you see from people who don't have a solution. Where have these lead? Governor DeSantis was in Congress. Where was he when they were debating immigration reform? What have any of these people done to be part of the solution?
You say you care about the fentanyl crisis and our kids.
I care deeply.
Okay, right.
So, I get if you're after attention. It's one thing to call attention to a problem. When you have a course of action, as some of the folks here speaking up about an issue, exercising their First Amendment rights have done, or in elected office. It's another to just call attention to a problem because the problem is actually more useful to you than the solution, and that helps you call attention to yourself.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.